I've been blessed to be able to get to sing, to get to write, to get to produce, to get to be involved in like the theme parks or other businesses that I do, because I love being the businesswoman. But of course I love my music, but it was always a song that opened the door to everything else. It was a song that brought me out of the Smoky Mountains, a song that's taken me everywhere.
Sitting on the front porch on a summer afternoon, in a straight back chair on two legs, leaned against the wall. Watch the kids playing with bugs on the string.
I always had a dream to do great things since I was very young. And now that I'm very old, I can reflect back, because many people don't get to live to reflect and say, okay, I've watched this whole career happen. Sometimes I look back on it and think, oh wow, how did I manage to do all that? How did I get all that done? I always try to ask God to lead me and to direct me. So I think because I've had a lot of faith and held on to God's promise, that it's kept me strong through the years as a leader. But I've just been blessed, richly blessed, that I've been able to see my childhood dreams come true, because most people are not lucky enough to be able to say that and to look back on it and be proud of it. When I really realized I was going to have to be a businesswoman is when I started in the business, having to buy a bus, having to put a band together, pay them, having to buy uniforms for the band, having to buy clothes for myself, having to have all these expenses. And I thought, there's no such thing as just being a star. You have got to look at the business end. I thought, well, this is a business, so I have to start thinking along those terms, learning how to budget, learning how to know the right moves to make, not to overspend, and to know how much money to borrow at the bank, knowing I could pay it back at the end of a tour. So there were many, many years that I spent a lot more money than I made just trying to keep the persona and the image of being a star. But you just have to learn early on that this is a business, and I had to look at it like a business. I got my business sense from my daddy and my creativity from my mother's side. But my daddy never had a chance to go to school, but he was so smart. He ran a family the size of an army by knowing how to maneuver, knowing how to save, knowing where to spend, where not to spend. I love getting involved and being involved in the creative end of the business, and then being able then as kind of the boss or the semi-boss, depending on what it is, to be able to have my input and to say no here, and yes, that's great, or we better rethink that, because that's what it's about. I mean, I admire and respect a lot of people, but actually my greatest influences have come within my family, because like I say, my mom's people were very musical and very spiritual, and I had an Aunt Dorothy Jo that I used to write a lot with, and we were very similar. And my Uncle Bill Owens, my mother's brother, was my very first manager. He's the one that helped me go back and forth to Nashville in my young years, took me around locally. So I really, really owe him a lot of things. So my biggest influences have been within my family. My mother was a big influence on me. She was my hero. Just raising that many kids, if nothing else. A lot of people come up in these parks for other things, to visit other things, like the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and a lot of other great areas around. But the park has done well. I think it's so family oriented. Our whole slogan is make time for happy, like make time for family, because everybody's so scattered, especially this day and time with everybody's either on Twitter or on Facebook, or they're texting, or everybody's got their face stuck in something else. And you can be in the same house, and every single person, even the parents, off doing a different thing. They're off all in some other space, cyberspace or whatever. So at Dollywood, we kind of, try to bring, it's a wonderful park to actually bring family together, to kind of still have some family values, to keep some family traditions and all that. So it's really, this park is really, wonderful for that, and that's kind of what we're all about. And I always had this dream years ago to have something like this, and it's great for the economy here in the area. We employ a lot of my relatives as well as a lot of friends and family around here. Every year I'm amazed myself at how it's just growing and growing. So hopefully it'll grow from now on. Be here long after I'm gone, but I want to be able to enjoy it as long as I'm here.